I'm delighted to be here today in place of Deputy Michael Collins, who kindly facilitated me. I'm a TD from Laois Offaly. We're very, very badly affected. We're very, very frustrated. We feel that the lockdown was completely unjustified and that the constituency is being punished for the inaction of the National Control Outbreak Team and indeed the government in getting to grips with the problem in meat factories. That's my outline first of all. Now I have two questions. My first one is for Mr Healy. I just want to ask, there's huge concern among farmers. Farmers and workers have been treated very, very badly by the meat factories, and I've been very consistent in saying that, and I say it here again today. Very badly treated. The price of beef has slightly improved and not before time. But I want assurances here today that this crisis won't be used as an excuse to cut the price of beef in terms of beef and suckler farmers. They can't take any more hit, and I just want assurances from yourself, Mr Healy. I want to ask you what you're doing to ensure that that does not happen, because we need to protect our producers and of course our workers. My second question to you is in terms of the 24-hour testing time, which I welcome. I just want to know, do you agree with the government's approach that the duration should be 4 weeks? I would suspect that it should be a lot longer than 4 weeks, because we saw 828 cases of COVID in meat factories in May, and we now have well over 1,400. So I just want to know what your views are in terms of the duration of testing, and also mainly the farmer query that I put to you first of all. In terms of the Health and Safety Authority, I want to know, do you feel that it's a barrier to yourselves and an obstacle, the fact that an employer can't contact you directly if there is a COVID case in a plant? It's very clear that this problem hasn't been got to grips with, and other people, other constituents and other regions are suffering as a result.
Thank you, Deputy. I suppose, firstly, our work and our focus, at the moment continues around protocols, around dealing with this new testing regime, and that remains a prime focus. But you mentioned price. The price is higher than this time last year. It's above this time last year. The Irish price is above where the EU average or the EU benchmark price is for the markets that we export to. And every effort, it is not. It's about markets, and it's about what happens in markets. There has been some, as you see across the European economy, and some reopening of economies, some recovery in food service, and that has helped. But where it goes from here, I don't know. But every effort is made in terms of finding the best markets, finding and delivering the best return, and it is stronger than it was this time last year. In terms of your specific question around the 4 weeks, well, as I understand and what we've heard thus far from the announcement of government is that it's proposing serial testing, similar as it has done in other areas, and it is proposing to do a weekly test for each of 4 weeks. And to establish a situation to as well I can say, root out the problem if there is a problem. I can't offer advice on that. I would like to think that what it will find across a wide range of plants, because there are a lot of plants out there that have 0 or low cases, and across our primary meat processing members, as I said, and as the Chairman said in his opening statement, Deputy, up to the early days, the 2 months up to the early days of August, we had a situation where there were only 5 individual or isolated cases across the sector. We have had this major one in one of the plants now. I think we run through this 4-week programme now and establish and see what the full extent or what the nature of the incidence of the disease is. And I can't offer a view beyond that. You didn't outline what efforts you're making to ensure farmers aren't back in the position they were in last year. So I would like to know that, and I asked you your own view. Do you agree the duration should be longer than 4 weeks? I know what government are proposing. I know what the unions are saying, but I'm asking you for your view. Well, I go back to the fact, Deputy, that there doesn't seem to be recognition that when we sat before this committee on the 10th of July, at that point, there had been a very challenging situation in the primary meat processing sector, where there had been 22 clusters, 6 of them large clusters. We moved through a situation for the following 2 months where there was almost no cases in the sector. All of those existing clusters closed as active clusters, but now we have found ourselves back with one. So I don't know. I think my view is we will enter into this and work completely with it. It's the public health guidance that's given to us that you do this 4-week stint to establish what's happening, to establish the picture, to show what the level of incidence is. And I can only say that, I mean, we will work to that as companies have worked with the local control teams. We will work with this, but we do want to see that it is underpinned by fast and quick results. And if you want to make a linkage to price, if we run into a 4-week period now where there's testing and there is a delay in getting results through that leads to obstruction or disruption of production in facilities and markets can't be supplied, well, that could have an impact. But our aim is to make sure that this testing is done and that production can be maintained.
Very much. Thank